Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Roger Morgan. I'm the founder and CEO of Potty, and I have two wonderful guests on today to talk about cognitive health with pets. We've had a wonderful Potty day so far today, and we've got more to come. But please say hello to Brooke Sloat, our Director of Product Development, and Dr. Bernadine Cruz, one of our fabulous veterinarians from our Veterinarian Advisory Council. Thank you both for being on today.
Our pleasure. My pleasure.
Well, okay, so we want to dive right into cognitive issues with senior pets.
Before we do, we've got a little drawing we need to give away. And
I'm having cognitive issues because I forgot about the drawing.
Yeah, and then I want to play a video also to kind of tee up this whole concept. But shall we do a drawing? That's always fun. Gets a little energy going and give out some fun stuff. Let me actually do a quick screen share of my computer here so you can see the some of the prizes available for those who win. So we will be drawing 3 names, and if your name is selected, you can choose 2 of any of our dog bowls, these beautiful bowls. You could choose a bed of your choice, any of these beds. You can choose a blanket, any of these blankets that you see. A bed, a blanket, a couple of bowls. They're all beautiful, luxurious. As you can see, some of these beds are over $200. So they're just beautiful, and I think a wonderful treasure, and that we're giving out free today. So let's go for it. Let's do the drawing, and let's see who are our next 3 winners. And Karen has sent me, Karen is offsite, has done the drawing, and let's see, I'm looking, here it is. Okay, first winner is Andrea Blum from Montana, Sheila Jones from New York, and Laura Weishar from Washington. Congratulations to each and every one of you. That's exciting. So we will send you an email later this evening giving you instructions on how you can claim your prize. But congratulations. And if you would like to be eligible for the drawing, because we will be doing that drawing every hour on the hour until 8 o'clock Central tonight, our final live session. If you would like to be eligible for the drawing, simply buy something from Potty today and your name will automatically go into the drawing. And or you can become a pet pro, and you can also do that on the website and join as a pet pro, and then your name will go into the drawing for our next drawing that will take place at the top of the next hour, 2 p.m. Central. So, all right, we've had some fun. We've given away some prizes. Let's kick off this topic of cognitive health. And here to do that, Dr. Bernadine is amazing. She's wonderful. She's blessed so many lives, myself included, in that for sure. And before we kind of turn it over to Brooke and Bernadine to kind of take us through this, I thought it might be nice. I'm going to share my screen one more time. We have a brand new video that has never been shown before. And I'm going to go to our Potty YouTube channel here. And there's this video here, Potty Brain Drops. I think this video, it's about a 1-minute video, will tee up the subject nicely, and then we'll turn it over to Brooke and Bernadine.
Senior moments happen to all of us, and cognitive decline happens to us, happens to our pets. It starts happening to our dogs at about 7 years of age. As our dogs start going through cognitive decline, things that you may see are dogs that become disoriented in the house. They interact differently with the family. Their sleep patterns may change, or they may lose house training.
Nutrition plays a large part in brain health. A natural supplement that can nourish your senior dog's brain and increase their cognitive function can really make a difference in their quality of life.
Potty's Brain Drops are an excellent solution. It contains natural ingredients that have been highly researched. It contains ingredients like ginkgo biloba, DHA gold, L-carnitine, as well as others that can really make a difference in improving your senior dog's cognitive function.
So I have a client whose dog was getting days and nights mixed up. They were getting up during the night, sleeping all day. So I suggested brain drops. We tried that, and immediately she noticed a difference. Those days and nights got put back to where they should be, which means she's happier, she's sleeping better, and the pet's happier too.
Paw Tree's Brain Drops is a natural supplement and safe to give your senior dogs every day. This will really make a difference in their quality of life as they get older.
Wonderful. So there you have it. And Dr. Bernadine, a wonderful debut on that video. Thank you for your wonderful contribution to that. I'll turn it over to you, Brooke.
Okay, and I'm actually seeing some questions come in. And Bernadine, you did touch on a lot of this stuff in the video, but senior moments, right? Are they really truly an issue for older dogs? And how would a pet parent, what are some of the things were mentioned in the video, but what are, just kind of a list of things that a pet parent would see to know that their pet is going through this?
Well, number one, getting older is not a disease. It happens to all of us, and it's happening very slowly. And that's one of the hardest things, is because these changes that are happening to our pets, you didn't really notice it, 2 years ago. But if you look back going, well, yeah, every once in a while, it did kind of act differently, act bizarrely. It would stay up all night, and why was it doing that? But little by little, it starts to build until all of a sudden, you're not sleeping at night. So if you're not sleeping at night, you're not happy. And if mama and daddy's not happy, no doggy's happy either. So many other diseases can mimic cognitive dysfunction. So how do you know what's truly going on? And sadly, it's not a topic that most veterinarians bring up, because you're bringing your pet in for a wellness, or it's having an itching issue, or it's having a back issue or a lameness. So we get so involved in that, we don't ask, so what's going on? Or is it having any mental issues? Nah, doc, it's just getting old. But getting old, as I mentioned in that video, it can be disorientation. And one example I'll always remember was just so tragic. It was a dog that lived down towards the beach. And it had its little doggy door, and it was used to going outside. And the owner got upset because it was losing its house training, and one of the things that's most common. And this little dog was heading towards the doggy door, stuck its little head out the door, must have gotten some breeze going, I guess I'm outside, and just peed right there. It's like, oh, sad. That wasn't really honey. So you can have a pet that becomes disoriented in the house. It knows the door opens to the left, but it's standing on the right. It's like, yes. Or dogs or cats too, it happens to cats. They'll get caught in a corner, they'll get caught in a room, and they'll start yowling or carrying on, or just kind of staring into nothingness, just kind of like, I'm stuck. My backup doesn't work anymore. So you can see that. Or the way they interact with the family. The pet has always been with you. You're watching TV at night, it comes to sit with you and it watches TV, and now it's just hanging out in the other room, or it's hiding in the closet. Or people are coming over that it used to just love, and now it doesn't want to have anything to do with them. So that can happen. And then, as was mentioned in the video, this sleep changes. So night terrors can happen, or you can have a pet that's like sundowners. During the day, it's sleeping all day, but all of a sudden the sun goes down. They're wide awake. They're awake all night. They're pacing, they're yelling, they're crying, they're doing whatever. It's like, no. So these are some of the signs that you can see. And sadly, we can't reverse it because it is damage that's happened in the brain itself. So these are pathways in the brain that had been damaged. Mitochondria, which are the little powerhouses in the cells, they become damaged. But there are things that we can do, like the brain drops, that can help turn up the voltage for those little brains. So they're going, hey, I can do this. I'm feeling better. Mentally, I'm feeling better. This is good.
Excellent. I scrolled past something, but I want to touch on it. Someone had written, I just can't find it, that they're using brain drops now, and their pet was very growly before, and I'm irritated and things like that. My personal experience with my dog Bella, she was very growly, very not so nice to the other dogs, her younger sisters. And I started using brain drops. I was at my wit's end. I didn't know what to do. And I started using the brain drops. And she has actually, I have a new puppy and 6 months old now. And Bella wouldn't have anything to do with her at all. Now she's like a mom to her. It was the most amazing transformation I have ever seen. And the only thing that was different was the brain drops. So I've definitely seen it work firsthand. So
you're right. They do get grumpy as they get older. So getting rid of that grumpiness, that's why, grandparents can handle grandchildren usually for short amounts of time. Thank you for visiting. Now go home. With, Bella being grumpy, thankfully that helped. And I'm sure, knowing you, that you've had Bella to the veterinarian to make sure there were not other underlying reasons. Maybe something hurt. And it's like, no, you have to address that as well as the grumpy brain. So good for you.
No, it wasn't. I'm always at my doctor's office.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So basically, why are pet parents noticing this more now? And then when would they notice, at what age does this kind of happen, so that, it just gives someone a guide? Is my dog old enough to be a, quote, senior dog?
We all age differently, and so do our pets. So most veterinarians will say at age 7, a pet is entering their senior years. And if in theory we say that there's one of our years for every 7 of theirs. So theoretically, that's 49. 49 is really, really young. But, we age differently. So you may have a 7-year-old Great Dane that's ancient. You have a 7-year-old little Lhasa that's still, kind of a mid-range age, so middle-aged person, middle-aged dog. But again, we've all known people who at 50 started having signs of Alzheimer's and cognitive dysfunction. It's really called canine cognitive dysfunction syndrome. And anytime you hear something called a syndrome, means they don't know exactly what causes it. A little of this, a little of that. So we do know that about a quarter of all dogs over 11, 12 years of age have some form of canine cognitive dysfunction syndrome. So it's out there, and it's just for us to realize it and start trying to treat the signs when it's early versus late. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, no, excellent. Excellent. I'm going to take a question. Kara writes in, so are brain drops good to give as a preventative?
It's not a preventive. It is a treatment. So it's not going to do any good. It's not going to harm, but it's not going to do any good to give it preventive. So the main thing, yes, it's diet, genetics, and luck. Keeping your pet slim. They've actually found that obese animals, it really is going to cause, what causes the problems in the brain is going to be oxidative stress. Fancy term for saying basically the body, the brain is rusty. Oxidation is rust. Then some of it's going to be genetics. It's just going to be in there. And then you're going to have stress. And stress, one of the big stressors on the body is obesity. So keeping that obesity under control, that is going to be extremely important for the brain and the rest of our body.
There are a few, thank you, Bernadine. There are a few questions, people talking about preventative. So basically what you're saying is, on average, age 7, I know we have on the website, because it has to do with the size of the dog, how much they weigh, etc. So a Great Dane is going to turn senior earlier than a Shih Tzu will turn senior. But now I'm losing my thought. It's cognitive function here. So basically, would you give this to a puppy then? Would you give this to a young adult?
No, again, this is more preventive than it's going to be, or this is a treatment versus a preventive. So it's not something that's recommended for those younger dogs. How do you know when you need to start it? Again, know what those signs are. So disorientation, interacting with the family different, sleep patterns are changing, house training, all those things. You may not see all of them. You may just see one, and seeing one is enough, going, gee, I wonder if the pet peeing in the house was a matter of this canine cognitive dysfunction, or could it have a bladder infection? How do you know? You take your pet to the veterinarian. A pet should go at least once a year for a good wellness. At my own practice in California, we'll typically say, okay, 7 years of age, depending on the breed, it might be a little bit sooner, we're going to get a baseline of blood and urine. I expect everything to be normal. I want everything to be normal, but it's a baseline. And then we have something to refer back to. So if somebody says, yeah, it's having these, it's not interacting with the family. Otherwise, I might go, you're crazy. It's no big deal. It's just a little phase that it's going through. But going, nah, it's getting a little bit older. This might be one of the first signs. Let's address it. And if we make a difference, there's your answer. Sometimes you don't know until you do a trial. And something as safe as brain drops, we know it's not going to hurt.
Perfect. It's interesting. Beth has written in multiple times here because she actually called me like a week ago and almost in tears at how great this product has been for several of her dogs. She's got pit bulls. And she writes here, brain drops helped Whiskey with some of his anxiety/fear too. Amazing. And Beth, personally, I saw that in my Bella also. She's highly anxious, and brain drops actually helped with that. I was a little surprised also because I wasn't expecting it. So interesting.
And sometimes that anxiety, Brooke, is their hearing's not as good. Their seeing is not as acute as it used to be. So I don't know what's going on around there. And all of a sudden, what was that? You get a little bit grouchy. So if you can bring that anxiety down, I can't bring the hearing or the sight back, but it's one of the reasons I think it's great, to have a dog that you train with hand signals. I had an older black lab that learned hand signals as a pup. So when it got deaf and it's like, it's not hearing me, it would see the hand signal, sit, do whatever. It's like, we could still communicate.
That's really smart. I need to start doing that. Okay. Well, I think we've covered between us talking and these questions and the video, we've covered a lot of stuff here. I'm trying to just see if there's anything else question-wise. Roger, you seeing any other questions? Or Bernadine, is there anything in addition that you'd want to add?
I think, again, it's so important to realize there's several different diseases that can mimic canine cognitive dysfunction. So you could have a pet with a brain tumor, something as horrible as that. Diabetes, a pet that has arthritis. You're talking about Bella being grumpy. Well, thankfully you found out, it wasn't anything like arthritis that was causing her to be grumpy. Liver disease, changes in your routine. We're all home right now with COVID. And as soon as that changes, you may notice, this pet is really anxious. Well, maybe that's just a little separation anxiety that's going on. Depression. You had a pet that recently passed away because of some condition, and now you used to have 2 dogs, and now you have 1, and it's like, whoa, what happened? This was my support. This was my pack system. So even pets that can't breathe well, if you have a dog that's having breathing issues because of bad lungs, or a little pug with that little chronic nose, it's just so narrowed, stenotic, that going on for years can be an issue. So if your veterinarian says your dog needs to have a nose job, there's a reason why. It's not just so it's not going to snore all night and you can get some sleep, but so this pet will actually have less heart issues, lung issues, and brain issues. That's important. And that multimodal, I love multimodal, and Pottery is so good at multimodal. So the brain drops can really help. The wild Alaskan salmon oil, it takes down some of that rusting, the stress that goes on inside the cells. The superfood, many times their appetite's not as good. You need to keep these pets eating and a good quality food. And then if you need something like the Chillax just to bring it down a little bit more, perfect. So there's multimodal ways of treating it.
Awesome. I've got one more here, which I think is a really good question. Melanie asks, what about a dog with seizures? Would the brain drops be helpful for that kind of a dog?
No, the seizures can basically, it's a short circuit in the brain, this burst of spontaneous electrical activity. So seizures do need to be controlled, very much so, and that's something you and your veterinarian need to find the correct medication. But we do also know that there are certain seizure medications that can exacerbate, make cognitive dysfunction syndrome worse. There's other medications too. So you need to talk to your veterinarian about, okay, are you aware dog has seizures, you're using this medication. Is there something else that might be better for my dog's, little anxiety, having its cognitive dysfunction syndrome? Is there something else that could be better? And if they don't know, they can always ask specialists. One of the sources I love to go to is called Veterinarian Information Network. Learn so much from that. The number of medications I use, like, I'm not going to be using that one in seniors again.
So basically, if she were to show brain drops to the doctor, in other words, the seizure medication is the number one thing that the dog needs to have, but
Correct.
brain drops might be able to be used in conjunction with that potentially, if the doctor deems that the ingredients are okay and might be helpful. Or do you agree with that? Or okay.
I think that'd be great because we could be treating two issues: seizures and the basically doggy senility going on.
Yeah. I also see a question here. Nikki writes in, do you have a similar product for cats? And no, unfortunately, I'm sorry. We just have brain drops and it's for senior dogs only. And
but that's also, yes, it happens in cats and ferrets and birds and everyone else. Everyone has a brain. The same things happen in them. Roger.
Right.
By the way, I do see a question from Ruth, and I think maybe somebody's answered, but she said, I have 2 dogs and they both have skin allergies. They're itchy. What can I do for them? Ruth, there is a wonderful segment that we did earlier today all about allergies, and that was at 10 a.m. Central. So you can go to this Facebook page and watch that, or the Pet Pro who invited you can share that with you. But it's a wonderful segment specifically on allergies, and I think you'll find that very informative.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I think we are about time at this point, unless there's anything else, Roger, that you see. I just want to make sure we don't keep everybody too long.
No, let's see. Heather Gibson does ask, does salmon oil help with cognitive development as well?
I think salmon oil is a great adjunct to use in this multimodal way because it does have anti-inflammatory properties. So we know that there's inflammation that's going on in the brain, in those little mitochondria, in the cells. So we can keep that inflammation body-wide in the brain under control. That's fabulous to do. And salmon oil helps so many other things too. The skin, the coat, the immune system, all of those things. So yes, I'm a firm believer in salmon oil and I take it myself.
Wonderful.
Awesome. I one last one. I just scrolled by, but is brain drops good for a dog that has head tremors? I think it was head tremors. Yeah.
Probably. Sometimes you'll get these older dogs. They're kind of like the little palsy, mature person who just kind of trembles like that. It's really depending on what's causing that. So it's not going to hurt that. It's probably not going to reverse that because that's a whole nother issue that's going on. But there are so many times when I will say, I'm not 100% sure. Give this a try. I know it's not going to hurt. If it helps, don't ask me why. Say thank you and keep going.
I love that answer. I'm using it.
Yeah, that's right. There's another one here. I don't know if it's related to cognitive, but let's at least give Bernadine a chance to answer this. From Jody, my 14-year-old scoots, and I've got him on gastro, salmon oil, and our duck food. Do I need to take him to the vet to get expressed?
The reason having an itchy bum can be very embarrassing because, of course, they always decide they want to lick, itch, or scoot right when other people come over or you're taking the dog for a walk. So very embarrassing. But it's just a natural thing. So the question is, why? Oftentimes people say, well, I just went to the groomer and they expressed the glands there. Well, hopefully you're not eating lunch at this particular moment, but there's various ways of expressing glands. There are the scent glands located right inside the rectum. Tail being 12 noon, these glands are basically in 3 and 9 o'clock. So the way a groomer does it, when the pet's in the bathtub, they'll get back there with a big wad of cotton and give it a good squeeze. Now, the material is very liquid and the gland opening inside the rectum is positioned properly. You can empty it all out. Life is good. But sometimes the material can be very thick, like dried out toothpaste. And that little opening is very small. So you can imagine trying to squeeze dried out toothpaste through a pinhole. It's not going to work. So veterinarians, what they will do is put on that surgical glove, put on our PPEs, insert finger with KY jelly, feel that gland, and then we're able to totally express it. Sometimes while we're back there, we can find that there's tumors that are back there. So that can mimic something like full anal glands. Maybe your pet has a food sensitivity. Something in the food is making it itch. Maybe it has overall general itchy and its whole skin is itchy, so its bum is just kind of skin back there too. So best thing to do is see your veterinarian, have them get up close and personal, make sure there's nothing going on back there, no tumors. Then yes, the fish oils may help. You may find it's going to need to be another diet, or the allergy supports that pottery has. All those things may help, but start off with your vet.
Excellent. There's a question here that we'll just need to refer. Julie wants to know, my dog drools because of nerves in the car. What would help with the anxiety? And she hit the nail on the head, because at 2 o'clock, we're going to be talking about anxiety. So I would say, Julie, tune in at 2 and just in about 30 minutes.
2 o'clock. Yeah, that's right. 30 minutes, 2 o'clock Central. We've got a whole host of topics today. We've dubbed today Pottery Day, and we are absolutely potterying America, and truly in this spirit of our vision statement, which, as the founder, I can share with you that our vision statement is to create a world filled with unconditional love, where pets and their people thrive. That really is at the heart of everything we do, and it's happening every single day. It's happening because of these amazing products that truly change pets' lives. It's happening because of the wonderful business opportunity for people to share our products and get paid and rewarded for it. It's happening because people like Brooke and Dr. Bernadine give of their time and their talents and their service to help so many pet parents all around the country to be empowered and have knowledge and know what they can and should do to help their pets live happier, healthier lives and truly thrive. So today is all about that. We are going to be back every hour on the hour until 8 p.m. Central with new topics, more door prizes, more giveaways, more exclusive videos. We've got some more videos that we will be sharing throughout the day that we've never shared before. So lots to still see and to have ahead. And we will also, if you didn't get enough of Dr. Bernadine, and I never get enough of Dr. Bernadine, she will be back at 5 p.m. Central to talk about bladder issues in dogs and cats, and also hairball problems. But our next segment will be at 2 o'clock Central here in 30 minutes, and we will talk about anxiety and occasional aches and discomforts. We will have our guest veterinarian, Dr. Sandy Willis. And until then, everybody, Dr. Bernadine, Brooke, thank you very much for your time, your expertise. It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.